Hello again. So this will be the demo session on Workbench, right? So as we have seen, this is a web-based tool, correct? So this is the URL for Workbench, workbench.developerforce.com. So we need to log in. So we can select the environment and the API version. So always it would be the default would be fine. So 51 is the default, right? So we can have the API version as is, and we need to check on this. And on the click of this login with Salesforce button, we would be led to the as usual the Salesforce login page. So let me log in. Okay. Yep. So I am logging into Salesforce. So yes. So this is the landing page on Workbench, right? So again, we have all these options, correct? So basically, this would be, I don't want to dig deep into every single functionality of this because it would be confusing as a beginner. So let's start off with, I'll just give you a glimpse on what is what, and with hands-on and with more knowledge and more hands-on into the Salesforce, or you'd get to know about it in very detailed manner. So I'll just give you a glimpse on what is what as of now. So firstly, this workbench. So we have been seeing settings, right? So this settings, this again would basically of workbench standard settings, the time zone, API version, label language, and stuff like that. So this is what settings of workbenches and logout, help, and about. As you know, these are all straightforward, right? So then in info, we have seen the session information. So we have seen this in our presentation, right? So it would give you the information on who has logged in, what is the API version, and connection details and organization details and stuff like that. So that is what a session information would provide us. And the standard and custom objects. So this would again provide you the information about the object. Like for example, if I select account object, it would give us the the number of fields, what are the fields, relationships, and stuff like that. So and the metadata types and components. So this will provide the information on metadata like the Apex class, what are the Apex class available and stuff like that, right? So this is what basically info is. We'll come to queries later maybe because this is what we would mainly use, so we'll keep that for last, we'll say that for last. And comes the data. So this is basically the data management, right? So it, you can see we have all the insert, update, upsert, delete, and delete purge, all these options available in the data management. So again, this would basically be same as data loader. Like for example, if I select insert, we can select whether we are going to update. Firstly, we can select the object, and whether we are going to do it for only one record or from file. If you select from file, we can just select the file, which is the CSV file, which we are going to use to insert the records. So similarly, it would have the same options for update, upsets, and stuff like that. Then the migration is basically the deployment and retrieval of metadata. So like for example, yeah, as we have said in the presentation, we need a zip file with all the components, right? So we can select the zip file, and this would basically a few operations which we need to take care or not. And upon this, we will be able to deploy the package into our Salesforce. Similarly, we can also retrieve it. And then comes the utilities, and in utilities, or the REST Explorer is what we have seen. As we have seen in the presentation, REST Explorer is where we could run the API calls to obtain the response and check the data on it. Then comes the Apex Execute. So Apex Execute is basically the anonymous API execute we have seen, right? Anonymous code. So as we have said in presentation again, we can just run a code snippet over here. Then the password management. So as we have seen again, we can provide the user ID and the password, and password to be reset to. So that is what this is how password management is here in Workbench. And if we are running some bulk API job or metadata API process, we can know about the status over here by just providing their job ID. So that ends the this utility section. Then comes the important query section, right? So basically, yeah, push topics is again this is again more like API, or just don't worry about it, it's a high level of it. And SOSL search, this is basically we'll be searching some using some words within the Salesforce org. And using SOQL queries. Basically, this SOQL query is what we would be using. So these two are more or less similar with slight differentiation, which you will get to know. I don't want to you know put up more information into yourself as of now, since this is just a beginning stage. So basically, we'll be using this SOQL query. This is more like SQL SQL query language. So firstly, we can select the object which you want to query for, which you want to query from. So let's take account object, and similarly we can select the fields which we need to query, like age, active, maybe ID, and upon selection you could see this SQL query box getting updated. And then we can sort the results accordingly. We can more importantly, we can filter results, like for example, if you want a records which are of age greater than 18, then we can specify that over here, right? So we can, and you can see the SQL query updated accordingly with a bad condition. Then we can also limit the number of records which is being retrieved. Like if I put 3, we can see the limit 3, right? So basically, we are developing a SQL query which is pretty easy for even for a beginner. Like instead of just typing select active age ID from account where age greater than 18 limit 3, we can just go ahead and select the components one by one, which will develop the query by itself. And on the click of query, we would be the results would be retrieved over here. And there are different ways like list, matrix, bulk CSV, bulk XML ways of viewing the data. Like if we select the list, we are able to see the results over here, right? Whereas if I select bulk CSV and query, it would lead us to another page where we would get the output as a file. By clicking on the download, that file would get downloaded in my local, and we would be getting that file accordingly. So this is all this is how Workbench would work. I hope you just get a glimpse on Workbench. Thank you and happy learning.